Hello, it's been a while since I created my last video, and it looks like most of you guys enjoy the Vanguard based videos, and I don't blame you. I do like Vanguard a lot myself, and I do have quite some investments there. And I thought that I would make a video to discuss something that was a little bit difficult for me to find initially, and since I discovered it, I thought it would be useful for others, and thus I thought it would be interesting to create a video. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been looking for ways to discover the mutual funds in Vanguard that are actually beating the market, because as most of you probably know, this is what we are using as a way to measure a fund's performance, the performance of the actual market. And we tend to use the S&P 500 index for this purpose. And Vanguard is actually has a way for us to search through the different mutual funds, and it's really usable, and you can find a lot of good information using it. And the way you do it is by going at investing from here, investment products, Vanguard mutual funds, choose your funds and fund categories. And eventually you'll be able to select the Vanguard mutual funds, and you can go and filter from here. So I selected all the funds that are not closed, pretty much, either active or index funds. For the tax efficiency, I let everything as is. And you can press see funds, and what you want to do here, you want to sort by the 10-year performance of the fund. So I'm sorting by the 10-year performance, pretty much ordered from high to low. So the best, pretty much the best performing mutual funds are actually showing first, and the worst performing funds are showing last. And you will notice that they pretty much the base from which we're judging all the mutual funds is let me find it here. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, here it is. So it took a little while. So that's the base fund, the 500 index admiral shares, and so anything above that over the last 10 years has been beating the market. So if we count the funds from this one, it's like, I don't want to count exactly, but it's like what, 15 or something, maybe a little bit more, about 15, I'd say. And what you would probably want to do if you're really interested in buying these funds is pretty much go through them one by one. And see what are the ones that are actually matching the way you want to perform with your fund. And obviously this past performance doesn't guarantee future results, as you see everywhere. But it's an indicator, and 10 years is a pretty interesting indicator to at least keep in mind of. And I myself personally, I'm holding a couple, I believe. So I'm holding VFIAX, for example. And I'm holding, I believe, the high dividend yield fund, which should also be high performing. Maybe a little bit lower, I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I am holding the small cap fund, the VFIAX. And so let's see a little bit of what's going on here. So starting with VFIAX, which is the 500 index admiral share index fund. This has a 10-year average annual return of 9.77, which is pretty good. It's almost 10%. So the two above, it's practically the same. Maybe all these are very similar, so I probably wouldn't even bother. So let's take a look at the 10%, the 10+% gainers. So for example, let's take a look at the strategy small cap equity, and this is going to be like a sample, really. It's not like we want to check everything. I mean, you do want to check everything, but I don't have to do it in this video, obviously. The first thing you have to notice is that there is more risk here, and obviously that's why there is more reward. But if we enter a crash, for example, if there is a correction, this is probably going to be a deeper correction here. And you can kind of see the portfolio and management, which is super important. You see the style of the fund also, and as you see here, this is a small cap blended fund. So you see there's a lot of stocks going on here with pretty good diversification across a few sectors. And let's dig a little bit deeper. You can see here the different holdings, and as you see, these are not so popular businesses, and that's obvious. I mean, we're talking about small cap now, so businesses that are growing and possibly growing quickly. And you can see in the overview here that this is offers broad exposure to domestic small capitalization stocks that the advisor believes have above average return potential. So if you wish to invest in a fund like that, you have to be super careful, because there's a lot of risk but potentially a lot of reward. And if you did buy in 2008, you had made a killing on this one, pretty good. It doesn't guarantee that you'll do the same. I think the S&P 500 would have made like 23 or something at that time. But that just gives you an example. So if you take a look at VFIAX, which is the one I actually own, and it's a large cap growth fund, which I recommend. I like this one. It's a 4 risk, because we're talking about larger companies, large US companies in market sectors that tend to grow more quickly than the broad market. Currently, of course, that doesn't mean that it will always be the same, obviously. Let's go in portfolio management. But you will see that it's pretty much the companies that you would expect, the high-growing companies: Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Facebook, and they have been making a killing the last few years. These are very big companies, so it's definitely worthwhile to own them, I believe. And let's see a couple more, I guess, or one more, for instance. So the best one at the moment, with a 10-year track record of 11.36 a year, which is amazing if you did own it, is VFIAX. Let's take a look at this one. The oldest growth fund focuses on well-known blue-chip companies that tend to hold strong positions in their respective industries. So that's a very interesting fund, with a minimum investment of 50K though, although there are investor shares also. So you should be okay. Cool. So, and as I'm receiving an email at the worst possible time. So yeah, you could be looking at the investor shares, which will definitely have a lower minimum investment if you want to invest in this one, and that's a good one to invest for sure. I may look to add some shares myself. So large cap growth for this one. And again, Alphabet, Microsoft, MasterCard in this one, PayPal, Facebook, Visa, Amazon, Intercontinental Exchange, eBay, Apple as the top holdings here, which is like 34% of the total assets. And obviously, since it's blue chip companies, it's like mainly information technology, a little bit of healthcare, and a little bit of consumer discretionary. For the most part, it's a little bit biased towards information technology, which has been doing perfect over the last few years. Hopefully it will continue like that. So yeah, that's that kind of gives you an idea of the funds that have been beating the S&P 500, which is considered the base for which we judge the mutual funds. You can spend the time and take a look at all of these funds yourself and see what fits your portfolio, what better fits your portfolio. Again, as I mentioned, I do have like some large cap growth funds here. But yeah, it's really a matter of what you prefer yourself. I mean, it's not like I have this one also, for example. So this is the one I was talking about. This actually does a little bit worse than the VFIAX. But as I mentioned in previous videos, I like the fact that it provides you with a good basket of dividends, and I wanted a fund that does that in order to be able to add, money that I actually see and that are invested pretty much through the every market cycle, whether it's good or bad. So it's a different kind of investing. It's a little bit of more conservative type of investing, but it really depends on on your style. I personally like these kinds of holdings myself, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully that gives you an idea. And please let me know if you want to watch any other videos, any other specific Vanguard style videos, or any other videos. Really, I would be glad to make them. I do like talking about investing and pretty much anything that has to do with finance and investing and economics and all that. I enjoy the topics. But yeah, if you want to, if you want me to have to create a video and talk about a specific thing, just let me know and I will definitely work on it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.